What this person needs is not words that push willpower harder. What they need is a temperature that makes it possible to feel a little again, choose a little again, and speak a little again. The first image that comes to mind is not a broken person. It is a curled up person. When the cold becomes too severe, a dormouse does not fight the world. It folds its body and reduces movement. It lowers life activity in order to survive. This person's egogram is similar. He's not a person who resisted the world roughly. He is closer to a person who entered cognitive hibernation after being exposed to cold for too long. Let's look at the core data. The first thing that stands out in this graph is clearly FC at 17 points. It is almost 14 points lower than the general average. This number does not simply suggest a quiet personality or a temporary low mood. It is closer to a state where the spark of life itself has almost gone out. SC is also very low. In other words, it is not only enjoyment that has gone out. The self-propulsion that says, still, I will try living again, has also gone out with it. CP, NP, and A are all lower than the general average. The line that protects the self, warmth toward oneself and others, and the judgment energy needed to reorganize life have all gone down together. By contrast, AC remains at the general average level. This point makes us read this case more carefully. From the outside, this person may look quiet, trouble-free, and compliant with what is asked. But this quietness may not be healthy stability. It may be a survival method that minimizes the self. If we describe this person's structure in one sentence, it is this: a structure that is alive, but cannot move alive. This person does not strongly rebel. He does not strongly reveal himself. He may not create big problems. But that very point is the core of this structure. Looking calm on the outside does not mean the inside is healthy. In this case, desire and propulsion may have been turned off for so long that the person cannot ask for anything. So when we look at this case, it is more accurate to ask, when did this person stop wanting what they want, rather than why is this person so unmotivated? This person does not look like someone who collapsed after one large explosion. Rather, he is closer to someone who slowly froze in a long, cold climate. Low CP means that the minimum fence that protects the self has weakened. Low NP means that basic warmth toward the self and others has dried up. Low A means that the energy to reorganize and judge life has also become blurred. On top of that, because FC and SC have greatly gone out, this person may have gradually lost several important powers. The power to feel what they like, the power to say no, the power to endure by trying again. In other words, what pushed this person onto the street may have been long-term cooling of self-side functions rather than excess impulse. It was not because he roughly rejected the world. It was because the self-energy needed to face the world or attempt reconnection went out first. What is especially important in this case is that the outward appearance may look less dangerous than the actual structure. Inside the welfare center, this person was probably one of the quietest users. He may not have caused problems. He may have silently followed what was asked. He may not have shown much complaint. He may have existed almost like a background. He may have been frustrating in a quiet way, not following when pulled, not resisting, just staying still. From the outside, he may look like a gentle person, a quiet person, or a relatively stable person. But this quietness may not be peace. It may be a way of surviving after erasing one's own existence. The fact that AC remains means that the power to adjust to the situation is still present. But because ACP is low, the line that protects the self is weak. Because SC is low, the power to endure for the self is also weak. What remains may be only adjusting to the situation, swaying with the wind, and hiding in the safest possible direction. So when helping this person, we should not read, he is quiet, so he is okay. We should not read, he is compliant, so he is recovering. In this case, quietness may be a signal of hibernation, not a signal of recovery. When this structure is overlapped with life position, This case is likely to lean toward I'm not okay / you're not okay. The evidence on the self side is relatively clear. FC is 17 points, while AC is 35 points. This means that the power to be cautious and adjust is far ahead of the power to feel and express honestly. Instead of feeling good when something is good, saying no when something is disliked, and bringing one's own desire forward, the person is likely to curl up, watch, and adjust first. Because of this, it is natural to read the self side as I'm not okay. Because SC is also low, there is not enough self-propulsion to raise this weakened self side again. The other person's side is also difficult to see as brightly open. CP is 29 points and NP is 27 points. The difference is not very large, but guarding, tension, and evaluation may come before warm trust and leaning. This person's you're not okay is not aggressive or confrontational. It is closer to not feeling the world and people as safe. Instead of easily trusting and leaning, the person keeps distance and adjusts minimally while passing through. So this life position does not run toward the world and fight. The self side goes out first, and the world also does not feel warm. The whole structure leans toward reducing the body and enduring. What is needed here is not first injecting the words, the world is okay. First, thawing on the self side must begin. I may feel a little. I may want a little. I may say I dislike something. That is where the thaw begins. The first priority in this case is rehabilitation. It's clear. It is to awaken FC first. For this person, the voltage of primary desire, sensation, and joy has gone down too much. So if employment will, long-term plans, or stronger discipline are pushed first, the person may follow outwardly, but the inside can close further. What is needed first is making it possible to feel and say simple things again. Good. I dislike this. I want to eat. I do not want to do it. Next is S. C. Only when small desire comes alive again can the self-propulsion that says, I can try living again too, begin to rise with it. And only after that does small CP begin to form again. I dislike this. I will not do this. This is my standard. That is how the self-protection line begins to return. The direction this person needs is not a major change. It is turning small things back on. FC must begin by asking about very small desires and making it possible to speak them. SC must recover the self-sense that says you can try living again too. CP must be reconnected through saying no, refusing, and setting small standards. NP must recreate subtle experiences of warmth toward both others and the self. A must help the person organize one possible choice today rather than a distant future. A C must not remain only compliance. It must be connected to small self-expression within a safe range. For this person, small questions must come before large goals. What feels a little less difficult today? How is this side dish for you? You may say this is okay and that is not okay. Would you choose just one today? These questions may look small, but for this person they are very important. Desire comes alive only when choice appears, and self-sense returns only when desire comes alive. This case is not a structure that improves quickly through strong training. Some approaches can actually be harmful. Pushing with words that pressure willpower, presenting a large goal first, interpreting the person as unmotivated, mistaking compliance for recovery, misunderstanding silence as stability. This person's inner engine is already almost turned off. Because of this, an outside whip may create deeper hibernation, not ignition. What this person needs first is safe warmth and repeated small choices rather than strong motivation. There are also small signals that appear when recovery begins. This person's recovery may be among the slowest. That is because this person did not simply fail. He is closer to a state where connection with the self had been cut off even before failure. But precisely because of that, small changes carry great meaning. For example, these changes may appear. He begins to say, I do not like this. He says what he wants to eat. He chooses one thing instead of saying anything. His facial expression changes a little more often. Words like "I do not want to do it today" appear. He adds one word from the self side instead of only doing what is asked. These changes are not simple demands. They are the first signs of thawing in a frozen climate. For this person to come alive again does not mean immediately achieving something great. It means beginning to speak little by little the existence called I. Let me summarize. The egogram of the curled up dormouse is closer to the graph of a person who chose hibernation after being in a cold climate for too long, rather than the graph of a broken person. This person lost standards. He lost warmth. The power of judgment also became blurred. Most of all, he greatly lost enjoyment and self-propulsion. So the most painful point is not laziness. It is the spark that has gone out. The most important question when reading this case is this. Before asking, why does this person not move? We need to ask, what went out first inside this person? When this question appears, this graph becomes not data of resignation, but a map that shows where spring must begin.